Looking forward to some great hot weather on both sides of the Rockies this week. Good morning. You're watching the Weather Network. I'm Deb Matiechka on the west side of the Rockies in Invermere, British Columbia today. But on the east side, well, we're going to see some great temperatures in Alberta. More details on that coming up. Right now, I want to bring in Amanda Robinson. She's General Manager at Copper Point Resort, where we currently are at the moment. Lots of things in close proximity, including golf, which you can start in March. That's just incredible to me.
Yeah, we golf all the way from mid-March all the way through to mid-October, and just 162 holes of golf in the Columbia Valley. So.
It's great. We've already had people out on the course behind us, of course, and then also the other thing, lots of water, hot springs in particular, one of my absolute favorite to visit.
For sure. The Columbia Valley is capped by hot springs on both ends. So we have Lucia at one end, we have Radium at the other. We also, of course, have Fairmont Hot Springs, well-known Fairmont Hot Springs. So, yeah, we are blessed with water here in the Columbia Valley, for sure.
And warm water, those hot springs, Tom, Lucia Springs, we visited those yesterday. We'll have more details on that coming up later on the Weather Network. However, Tom, if you've been here, and you're coming back, go to Lucia Springs. It's so cool. Undeveloped, just natural springs and absolutely wonderful. Yeah, you are going to have to plan a trip out here for sure. You know, it's a big draw for Albertans because the weather is so consistent here and because it's so close. So they like to come visit. And, you know, we've been visiting here at Copper Point Resort. Amanda Robinson is general manager here at the resort. And really, everything around here, it's just so lovely and it's such a long, extended season.
It sure is. I mean, we start summer in the middle of March and we go all the way through to the middle of October. So average temperatures in the mid-20s throughout the summer. So it's a beautiful spot.
It is, and so many things to do, so many hiking trails that are available. There's easy ones, there's ones that you actually have to go up logging roads to find. We've got all the hot springs, so many hot springs and undeveloped hot springs, Chrissy, which I had never seen before, and all within this vicinity here in Invermere. You kind of make your base here at the Copper Point Resort, and then there's so many things you can do in and around the area. Temperatures are on the rise this morning in both Alberta and British Columbia. Good morning. You're watching the Weather Network. I'm Deb Matiechka in Invermere, British Columbia. Here in Invermere as well, on the other side of the Rockies, we're looking at temperatures, current temperatures right now in the mid to high teens, and it's just going to continue to get hotter and hotter as we move throughout the week. More details on that coming up right now. Amanda Robinson, General Manager of Copper Point Resort, joins us. Consistently warm here on the warm side of the Rockies, as we like to call it, and certainly lots of activities to do around this area.
There are, and that's what's the beauty of not being in a national park is you can do everything here. You can water ski, you can ATV, you can snowmobile, you can fish, you can do every activity under the sun, and we have it all here in the Columbia Valley.
Yeah, the Columbia Valley, I love it. It's this long stretch, some call it a trench, in between the Rocky Mountains and the Purcell Mountains. So much to do, and I love that we can set up base camp here at the Copper Point Resort in Invermere and then just kind of spread out. Or, of course, you could always stay here and relax.
Absolutely. Well, we call it your center for adventure here at Copper Point Resort.
So. Yeah, absolutely. So, Tom, next time you're back in the area, be sure to get a hold of Amanda, and she'll have plenty for you to do. How are things looking in traffic now? Oh my goodness, Cheryl, does it ever? You know, if you come over to Invermere and really you just want to relax, this is the place. Copper Point Resort is where you want to be. It's only 3 hours from Calgary, really close. But, you know, the best thing is, Cheryl, especially for those of us that have families, it's a condominium style resort and it's affordable. This is Amanda Robinson. She's the general manager here, and we can thank her for making it accessible to so many of us Calgarians and Albertans that do come over.
Well, you know, the Columbia Valley is such a hidden treasure and unknown to a lot of Calgarians. But if you just turn left before you get to Lake Louise and come through Kootenay National Park, it's probably a third of the price that you will pay in Banff and Lake Louise for everything from accommodation to golf to you name it, from activities. So it really is a great value opportunity to come here and particularly, of course, stay at Copper Point Resort.
Yeah, exactly. We've talked about it a lot this morning, but we've got the beautiful pool, and then just beyond the pool, Cheryl, for those parents that need a little relaxation, a little more added relaxation, we've got some adult beverages that are available while you're hanging out at the pool. Good Monday morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Deb Matiechka in Invermere, British Columbia today, just 3 hours from Calgary, where, we're going to be getting some really nice, hot, well above seasonal temperatures, both in Calgary, Edmonton as well. We'll have more details coming up on that. Here in Invermere, well, they're used to these temperatures that are in the mid to high 20s. They see that beginning almost as early as March, and then stretching right through until the end of summer. This is Amanda Robinson. She's General Manager of Copper Point Resort, where we have been hanging out yesterday and today. Lots of stuff going on here at the resort and in the Columbia Valley in general, right?
There sure is. I mean, it's such a hidden gem here. Just as you mentioned, 3 hours from Calgary. If you just turn left before you hit Lake Louise, come through Kootenay National Park into the Columbia Valley, it's absolutely spectacular.
It is. You've got the spectacular scenery and you've got the spectacular resort to enjoy as well.
Oh, we sure do. Anything from families to weddings to meetings to conferences, you name it, we can accommodate it here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Tom, we saw a couple weddings here over the weekend. It's just been a fabulous, fabulous time. We have plenty of stories coming up this week on the Weather Network about some of the things we've done here. Of course, golfing starting in March, which I'm sure you're excited about, Tom. But then we've also got all the hot springs that are around the area, hiking trails, lots of water activities, of course. Just so much going on in this area, and we'll have some of that, a sneak peek of it later this week here on the Weather Network. How are things doing in traffic now? Waking up to a beautiful morning here in Invermere, British Columbia. You're watching the Weather Network. I'm Deb Matiechka. And on the other side, the east side of the Rockies, we are going to be looking at some really great temperatures, which we don't always see. So pushing near the 30s as we move throughout the week. And that's true across the province in Calgary and Edmonton as well. Here on the west side of the Rockies, the warm side, if you will, Amanda Robinson, General Manager of Copper Point Resort. You get these kind of temperatures all summer long. And it's why so many Albertans do come. They come for the consistency, so they come for the warm weather, but much more going on over here on the warm side of the Rockies.
There sure is. We start summer in mid-March and we go all the way through to mid-October. So, and of course with Lake Windermere, all of the activities that you can do on Lake Windermere, and the lake is really warm. Like you can swim in the lake in the low 20s in the lake in the summer, which is awesome.
I know. I was in there yesterday morning. Yes. But there's another thing too, affordability. We have some great resorts close to Calgary. We love to visit. However, just driving that extra hour or so, we can find some great amenities here as well.
You sure can. We're 3 hours from Calgary. So you just turn left before Lake Louise and go through Kootenay National Park, which is absolutely spectacular and unknown. So many people don't know about the existence of this incredible destination.
It is. You know, Tom, there's a trench. It's called the Columbia Valley, and it's in between the Rocky Mountains and the Purcell Mountains. It's stunning. It's beautiful. Put it on your bucket list right after you tell us about traffic.